welcome to a new video. Today is a good old studio vlog, which I'm actually really excited about. Also because in this vlog I am starting a new sketchbook. If you have been following me for a little bit, you may know that I'm not the kind of person that can finish a sketchbook in like a few months. It takes me years, like literally years. I don't really use my sketchbook as a lot of people use their sketchbooks. Like mine are really clean and like finished illustrations instead of like sketches, and like my sketchbook isn't one of those messy sketchbooks. The things I make in my sketchbooks are often like finished illustrations that I sell prints of in my Etsy store. So yeah, it's really exciting to finally start a new one, because the one I recently finished, I started it in 2017 and I kind of forgot about it, and then I found it again, and then I was like determined to finish it because I could not be more done with it. But I had like 8 pages left, so I managed to finish it last week, and this week I'm starting a new one. So I had a day off and I basically planned this whole day to just paint and like chill basically. It didn't take me too long to decide what to paint. Like those first pages of a sketchbook can always be kind of nerve-wracking because you want them to look good, but I wanted to paint something that I was really comfortable with, so I decided to paint a little moth, which I've done several times now, so that should be fine. Also, I finished knitting this jumper that I have been working on since Christmas Eve. So I'm so glad that I finally finished it. The only thing I have left to do is weaving in the ends and then block it and wash it. Yeah, I will show it to you once it's like completely finished. But in between layers of paint that had to dry, I weaved in the ends, and it really worked for me, because sometimes I can find it kind of hard to focus on painting for a long time. So it really works when I do something at the same time, like knitting, or I don't know, like playing a game on my Switch when layers are drying. Yeah, I don't know, I can be a little impatient sometimes, so that really works. So that's what I've been doing. Yeah. Again, this jumper, I've been knitting on it since Christmas Eve. It was my Christmas cast on. So I'm so excited that it's finally finished. But yeah, anyway, back to painting. Again, I am so excited that I finally started a new sketchbook. I talked about it briefly in my previous video, like the sketchbook tour. But I have been struggling with art block or no motivation to paint, and it honestly started when I started going to art school. I do talk about this with a lot of my like creative friends, and honestly I often feel like art school kind of messed me up creatively. Yeah, I don't know, I honestly didn't really have a great time in art school. I also hate the fact that people think you are not self-taught when you go to art school, even though I've never had like a proper lesson in technique. Like, you know, like it's not that when you go to art school they just sit you down and they're like, okay, we are learning how to paint, I don't know, like a landscape or a human being today, and I think even people who go to art school are still self-taught, but you are just forced to paint more than like people that don't go to art school, I think. Actually, for me, it was more so the opposite, because the first year at my art school, they honestly tried to make you unlearn all the things you have learned so far yourself. But yeah, that's a whole other topic. Yeah, I don't know, like being forced to do a lot of painting, and also paintings that I didn't really like doing. When I was in art school, I was constantly asking myself, like, do the teachers like this? Is this good enough? Like, will I get a good grade when I do this or that? And at the end, I didn't really paint things that I wanted to paint. I just painted to get through, basically. And it really messed with my creative mind, and it took me a long time to recover from it. Like when I graduated, I don't think I painted in the first year after that, like, and I just lost the joy in painting, which is really sad actually. Like, I remember when I went to high school, I would come back from school being kind of tired, and I would just make myself a cup of tea and go to my room and paint to relax. And I really don't do that anymore. Like, it takes me so much effort to actually start painting, and like once I'm going, I'm good, you know, like it makes me happy, but it takes me a lot to actually start and think like, okay, I'm gonna paint, I'm going to take my painting things out of the drawers and sit down and like think about what I'm going to paint and all that jazz. But yeah, I'm really trying to get past that, because I don't want to be that person anymore. Like, it may sound all very dramatic, but it is very weird to me, because I used to paint so much. Like, I would paint every day, literally every day. As I said, I would paint to relax. And now it almost stresses me out, because I always have a feeling like, oh, it has to be pretty, it has to be beautiful. And I really think it's because of art school, because you are forced to create constantly and it has to be good. You cannot fail, or I mean, you can, and they say that they want you to, but I don't know, it's messy. But I really have been trying to, you know, start getting back into painting and enjoying it. And I think I can finally say that I have been enjoying it a bit more than when I just graduated. It also feels good to finish a sketchbook. I really want to finish my other one as well now, because I always have 2 sketchbooks. I have the one I'm working in now, which is like a really small one, and then I have a bigger one, which is also quite small but bigger than this one, and those 2 are my main sketchbooks. So I really want to finish the other one as well, because it's almost finished as well. I think like less than 20 pages left. And I don't know, I'm sounding kind of negative about art school, and I don't think it's a bad place, but it just wasn't a place for me. But I really didn't know what else to do, so I kept going. And looking back, it wasn't the best choice maybe, but again, I really didn't know what to do. I switched schools already, and you know, in the end, I am glad that I finished it. But I'm also really glad that chapter has passed, because again, it just really wasn't for me, and yeah, it ruined my creativity, I think, a bit, which is a shame. But yeah, I'm really focusing on trying to get back into painting and especially enjoying it. But yeah, I'm really glad that I'm back into painting, and I really enjoyed painting this moth. Also, I think one of the reasons I started knitting was because I needed to do something like creative wise, and I always knew how to knit, but like it was just like really simple, like scarves, you know, that was all I could really do. I couldn't do increases or decreases or anything like that. And once I learned how to, which was actually quite easy because there are so many tutorials online, I don't know, I feel like it saved me. It honestly saved me. Like, I could still be creative, but without painting, because I really did need a break. And that's the thing with art block, I think. Like, sometimes you just need to take a little break, and you need to like distance yourself from painting, which I think was the case at first because I painted so much when I was in art school, and I always really had to force myself to paint. And when I graduated and I didn't have to force myself, I felt like really free that I didn't have to paint anymore, because it felt like something I had to do and not something that I was doing because I felt like doing it. I really don't know where I was going with this, to be honest, but yeah, I really feel like I needed a long break from painting. And now that I took that long break, I really feel excited to get back into it. Oh, and also looking back, I think it was a little more than just art block. I think I may have been a little burnt out. So, yeah. I also took a look at like my sketchbooks, and then I don't know, I felt so much joy looking through them, and I wanna finish sketchbooks again and paint and like be inspired by nature and show that in my sketchbook. So again, I'm really excited to get back into it and share this journey with you. Anyway, I'm rambling so much. I'm sorry. If you're actually listening to this, then thank you. I think I'm going to stop rambling for now. And I hope you like the finished painting, and I hope you like this video. And I will see you in my next one. Bye!